Welcome back. The borders have been in the news a lot lately for obvious reasons, and yesterday it was announced a vehicle smuggling ring was busted by police in CBSA, largely in Ontario, but there is a connection to the East Coast. Joining us is Dominique Mallette, Regional Director General for Canada Border Services Agency Atlantic, and it's good to have you with us again. This is becoming a regular tradition.
Thank you for having me.
I mentioned that that bus, Project Chickadee. It was mentioned that Halifax was one of those ports in which vehicles were being sent abroad.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Just this last fiscal year, Todd, we seized 127 vehicles, preventing them from leaving the country. That's about $4 million a vehicle. How the connection is made is because most of the vehicles that we seize come from either Quebec or Toronto. So we seize them, gather intelligence, share with police partners who send referrals to Toronto, and they build their investigative cases based on this information, which led to some of this arrest.
While impressive, that's just a very small portion of things that you were seizing. Contraband cannabis, quite a bit being exported.
Indeed, a big year this year. We seized so far 16,000 kilograms of cannabis on export, as you pointed out. This is probably 4,000% more than we did last year.
4,000?
4,000% more than we did last year, in fact.
And what do you think's behind that?
The answer is our cannabis is one of the best in the world. Whether it's grown legally or illegally in Canada, it's got a high THC content and sought after, especially in Europe, but around the world, which is why it's that prevalent.
Well, we talk a lot about illegal firearms, which come into the country, which is always something I know that we've discussed in the past, and that continues. But you've brought a couple items tonight.
Indeed, I did.
Which are involved in that sort of sphere.
They are, to some extent, in fact. Yeah. So this is what we called, so these are declared as fuel filter.
Okay, let me hold this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fuel filter is what you would buy it.
Correct. And the declaration from the importer is what it says. We know they all come from China. It has zero filtering capacity or capability.
It's not a filter.
Not at all.
So
it's 100% intended to be a silencer, to be screwed on a firearm to muffle the noise of the firearm. Yes.
Okay. You're seeing those. What else?
What else do we see? So with the increase in people being able to buy things online, sometimes you buy products that you don't realize may not be legal in Canada. So knives are a famous example. This is a knife that was bought online in the United States or in a foreign country. Any knife that can mechanically open like this or close is not legal in Canada. So we see a lot of people ordering these. They are sexy. They're not available in Canada, and they are not legal. Okay. For the same reason. And they're highly concealable as well, because you can retrieve the blade.
The next one's really interesting. I think a lot of people will recognize this. I'll hold it up. You know, I think the corporate name is Taser, but the stun gun. Yeah. Why are you seeing these? Who's bringing those in?
Again, I think those are brought in by a number of people. Some of them think it's a funny toy to have. Many are brought by organized crime groups or street gangs to be able to defend themselves. Not legal in Canada. The only real purpose that is legal is in the farming industry, if you had to put down an animal or otherwise, but certainly not legal to possess, carry, or any of that in Canada.
So is there a disconnect there where Canadians may see something like this online and they think, well, look, if I can buy it from an online supplier, then it must be...
It's exactly what's happening. Yeah. I would say to you, if you see something sexy online that you've never seen in Canada before, but you're interested, I recommend you call the Border Line Services or the CBSA to get clarification on whether or not these can be imported in Canada. Unfortunately, it's not always clear on the internet, but something to consider.
This is something I hadn't thought about. Of course, it involves the CBSA, but there's so much talk now about trade, diversifying our trade, finding new markets, developing things like critical minerals. All that has to be exported. So this is all coming through your people. Is that changing the complexity of the work?
Certainly going to change the volume of the work, as you pointed out. First, I'm going to say that just this year alone so far, we collected $3 billion of duties and taxes for the government. I think as an agency, we might be at $70 billion, so all of that goes in the coffer and helps us pay for whatever it is we need to. Most of the building, the nationwide building project, in fact, will have either an import or export component. I think the Prime Minister is seeking new partnership overseas, which automatically involves the CBSA, whether, again, it is on import or export. So I think the marine ports will get a lot of attention in the coming months, because that's how most of the goods come from overseas, in the marine mode.
The few seconds I have left, that means more people are coming your way.
Indeed, announcement was made.
In terms of staffs, Bill C-12?
C-12, Bill C-12 was announced, I think, last week, looking at 1,000 new officers for the CBSA. 800 of those will be frontline officers at the border, and the other one will be in support of frontline, but also either undercover, working in the trade stream, or commercial, but significant lift for the CBSA. Much needed as we get additional export authorities to protect Canadians and the rest of the world.
Dominic Millette, it's fascinating. We appreciate every time you come in to tell us about this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We will take a break. We'll be right back with more of your local news right after this.